On today's episode of Out Loud and Laughing, there are only two reasons that come to mind why I think I'd be a runner, and one of them is because I'm being chased, and the other one is because I'm running late for a grinder hookup. So, I'm not, or brunch. Let's be more realistic. I'm 40 now. It's probably brunch. Welcome to another episode of Out Loud
and Laughing.
Get ready.
I'm Brian.
And John. Two gay cousins having big talks and even bigger laughs. Join us. Let's see what they're up to. It's Out Loud and Laughing.
Welcome back to another episode of Out Loud and Laughing. I am Brian.
And I am John.
Hi, everyone. Hi, John.
How are we? Hi, Brian. I feel like I just I'm coming into the ether just very slowly here, but how are you?
You are slowly waking up into this new day. I have been up a little longer than you. I have been setting up for a one-night camping trip tonight.
The amount of work that goes into a one-night camping trip packing job sounds so unworth it to me.
This is year 2 where some of the dads want to go camping with the kids, and they're all the straight dads. And I'm like, yeah, I'm in, And it was fun last year, but they went for 2 nights and I went for 1 night. I kid you not, John. I bring the entire bedding. Everyone's bringing a sleeping bag, all the guys with their kids and stuff. I bring a huge queen mattress for Kenzie and I. I bring a fitted sheet. I bring a comforter. We each get 2 pillows, and I have 8 blankets. So that's the first difference. The second one is our campsite's near a creek. So for anyone listening, I don't sleep with Kenzie ever. Our kids don't sleep in our bed. So A, this is sleeping in an air mattress with my daughter, who moves around the whole night. And B, I'm next to water streams all night. John, I kid you not, every hour I was leaving the tent to pee.
Brian, yes, the sound of running water I don't know how you do that, but also that's probably why I'm so tired this morning. I didn't sleep well last night, and I had to get up to pee 5 times.
See?
So good luck
I'm
on
telling
that.
you. So they're doing 2 nights again this year. I'm doing night 1, and I'm going to know that I'm coming home tired tomorrow, but that's okay because Kenzie actually loves it. For a little girl that's very princessy and stuff. Last year she was walking down, climbing down the rocks, playing in the creek, in nature. So for me, it's more around just get her into nature because I want her to love that. I don't want her to be an inside body all the time. So I'm just doing my parent duty.
Well, I think you're really creating some core memories with her. So all the work that you are putting into that is going to be beneficial. Unless she gets stung by a bee, then that's different.
That's always up for debate. But yeah, so one of the dads, it's his birthday, so super excited to celebrate with him, drink by the fire. It'll be nice. It'll be fun. But I hope it's somewhat, because to your point, I'm making a core memory for Kenzie. So maybe it'll be a hobby that she picks up, camping. Maybe she'll like doing it. I don't know.
Have you? Okay, well, that's an expensive hobby, but are you the kind of person who picks up hobbies and just drops them? Or are you somebody who eases in? Tell me about what type of hobbies. I don't even know all about all of your hobbies. What do you do, and do they stick around?
I don't even know about my hobbies either. I have a podcast. I'm not sure if you're aware.
No, that's what it's about.
I don't know, but it's a really annoying guest host I work with, but it's fun.
It's all right.
It's okay.
I'm having the same problem.
Interesting.
We should pod about it.
We should pod about it. And if anyone hasn't listened to Out Loud and Laughing, please subscribe.
Yeah, seriously. Welcome back. Welcome.
No, there are I do have hobbies. I like to cook. I like to drink because for self-preservation. But I feel like I pick up hobbies quickly because I get so excited if I see a TikTok video or an email or whatever it is. But then I have probably more examples of hobbies that I've picked up, and then I was like, nope, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm in the same camp. That's funny. Oh, see what I did there? Um, I will like get super excited, rubber stamping. Have you ever like
Oh,
seen
jeez.
like one of those shows? Or you remember that old lady? Have you ever seen the rainbow? Like she would like go into the stamp and she would like make all the squiggles. She gets really excited about this. Like people have made like parody videos about her on YouTube. Um, Things like that where I'll watch an infomercial. The person will make it
I
look so much
know.
fun, and then like 2 weeks later, I have all the things to open up a stamp store, and then I've never
Well,
stamped before again.
I feel like this is actually a really interesting topic. So let's dive into this one because
Okay.
I feel like we get this from our dads.
Oh,
Because like I
completely.
remember growing up, our dads would find something, go crazy with it, and then like 6 months later, it was like they were done with it. Like I don't know if you remember, but candle making, our dads loved making candles. They would dip them to make different colors. Like they would keep dipping them in different colors and then like cut them
Are you talking about like the ones
because
at the mall where they like hold them up and they spin and they like kind of cut it like it's like a
a,
warm,
1,000% that, and probably because they saw it at the mall.
most
And so they're like,
definitely
we can
because
do
they
it
saw it at the
ourselves.
mall.
Because I remember I also was like, well, then I'm gonna do candle making, and I bought like a ton of supplies.
I
I think I made like a few
remember.
candles. Yeah, and now I just buy candles off Amazon myself without making them myself. So, yeah, that's candle making is what reminds me of my dad's a little bit. Or my
And not
dad's,
only are we
your dad
blame,
and mine.
I was gonna say, not only are we gonna blame both of our fathers, but also you and I kind of got sucked into some hobbies when we were younger that we would like throw not a lot of our money, but like we were broke. So all of our money. No, I'm just kidding. Like
Right.
remember cross stitching,
Yes. Or the bracelet making.
the bracelet making.
Because we would go to Michael's and use our allowance to get the supplies.
When you say bracelet making, are you talking the same string from the cross stitch or the
No,
plastic
the
barrel
plastic
stitch?
one.
Oh my.
Remember those? And if you like were into it and all of a sudden you looked and one of them wasn't tight, like 10 things later you had to undo it to tighten it.
Undo it. I threw mine away. You know how much material I wasted? I was like, this is
Oh
for the
my
birds.
God. How much allowance did you get? I didn't get that much allowance. I had to go redo it.
Oh, we were making $25 a day. I'm just kidding.
Well, I remember, so when I lived in the UK, I told myself, Brian, you live in Europe now. You are a new person. I'm going to be a runner. I'm going to be a runner. But I hate running because I get very bored. I can't be in my own head too long because there's just too many voices. And so, but I was like, I'm going to do it. I need someone to teach me how to run. So I even hired a running coach who twice a week we met in the park. She ran with me. The first time we did 1 minute, we didn't stop. We did 3 minutes, we didn't stop. We got up to 10 minutes not stopping. Right when I stopped that coach 2 months later, I also stopped running.
Yeah, I would have stopped also. I do go to the gym and running is part of it. It's nothing I would think I would pick up as a hobby. There are only two reasons that come to mind why I think I'd be a runner, and one of them is because I'm being chased, and the other one is because I'm running late for a grinder hookup. So,
Yeah.
um, not, I'm not, or brunch. Let's be more realistic. I'm 40 now. It's probably brunch. Um, but did you but how much did you invest in this though? Because knowing you and knowing our dads, you probably went out and bought like the running shoes, a new running outfit.
All of it. Because it was like not just about learning how to run, but it was looking like you knew how to run, right?
I think I think you just unlocked it. I think it's not so much about in terms of us having to buy everything that goes along with whatever it is that we're interested in. I think it has a lot to do with us like not looking or feeling like we don't know what we're doing.
Right. I think
Hmm.
that's because like I remember like another one that you and I did. We have too many examples together. Is during the pandemic. I feel like you and I started sugar cookieing,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
and I thought you buy just the roll of sugar cookie at the store. You get a couple of stencils, you put in the oven, and then you just make an icing. Folks, John 10x's these things and like knows how to make them perfect. I think at one point John sent me his cart of things to buy so I can get prepared so we can like virtually bake sugar cookies together. And I kid you not, one of the ingredients was like egg white powder.
Do you know why though? I mean, okay, we don't have to go into the you know why. That's always me. I'm like so defensive. I'm like, but you need egg white powder. Um,
I mean, we did. The sugar cookies looked amazing.
but was it egg white powder from the French chickens? No, just kidding.
Oh my god! But
Um,
now my whole
you're
drawer of egg
right.
stuff, I have. I think because you and I also themed cookie themes, so I had
Yes,
ocean stencils. We had shape stencils. We had all these different stencils.
and I still do. Cut, cut, cut. And I still have all of that stuff today about like I have so many different like cookie cutters. It takes up so much space. I have 40 different colors of food coloring gel that I might just start I might just start like like go to Publix and start painting things like the produce section and just start painting faces on them or something because I don't know what I'm gonna do with all this stuff in my life.
Oh my god! And then that fruit coloring gel that you also made me buy because I also have it stains your hands.
Oh, it's yeah, the Wilton stuff. Oh,
It's so
it's potent.
So John and I probably did sugar cookies twice. John made really fun flamingos. I think I made an octopus. Uh, and we haven't made them since.
We have not made them since. But baking in general as a hobby, like
Yeah.
not even just sugar cookies. Like at the
No, all of it.
beginning of the pandemic, I was baking bread like I was like waiting for Belle to show up or come walking down the avenue, bonjouring me, like asking for like where are the where are my rolls or
Ar-
where's my bread?
So artisanal.
So artisanal.
I
That hasn't
also
happened
like
again.
yeah, exactly. That's the thing. I also was ready to do chocolate making. Like I'm in. I have all the equipment. I have something to temper the chocolate. I have everything. I have all the materials. I haven't made one chocolate, John.
So we're definitely making chocolate when I get there.
Oh my god. Well, at least and then we'll immediately quit.
And then we won't even pick up the mess. We'll be like, Adam,
What other
we're
hobbies
so
have you
over
picked up?
this.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
well, I actually there's one that I still do that I picked up as a young kid that you used to do that you no longer do, which is playing piano.
Topping? Oh,
Yeah,
piano.
topic. God, I really should have given you a little bit more airtime for that one. That's hysterical. But topping isn't a hobby though. Topping is like a workout, you know.
Well, it depends.
I guess so.
You know, depends how often you do it. Uh,
Piano or
you
topping?
yeah. Yes.
Yes.
It's true. John and I we were raised playing piano to the point where I think we all had the same piano teacher. So me, my brother, you and your sister, and I think we all had 30 minutes with her in a 2-hour increment. So I do remember that we would go to the park and every 30 minutes one of us had to leave the park to go do our piano lesson. Fact.
Fact.
And at the end of that piano lesson, there on the table, there was this older woman. Her name was Janet Tinney, right?
Yep.
And at the end of your lesson, you were able to pick out a few jelly beans that she had organized by flavor, which is probably why you and I are very type A now.
You're not wrong.
But I remember, so John is like amazing at the piano, pure talent. My brother, really good at the piano, pure talent. Carolyn and I, not that talent. And I remember if I got one key wrong with this woman, she would tap me on the head and say, "Think, Brian, think."
With what?
Her finger.
Oh, she would do the tap like this. She wouldn't do
Yes.
the wooden baton.
No, she would. Maybe it was a baton too. Maybe that's why I'm into that kink. Anyways, so I remember that she would scare me. So I told my mom, like, I don't want to do this. So I honestly think I didn't unlock that hobby because I had a bad coach.
You know, and that could be a thing too. Like having a bad teacher could be really discouraging to go forward. Like if someone's like not sort of tapping into, no pun intended, uh, tapping into sort of the parts of you that are curious and like really leaning into the shame of it all. That's no fun way to learn. I can imagine.
And are we,
S-
and are we still talking about piano or topping?
Oh, you played the piano? I play the piano. Yes, piano playing.
I love it.
You know, I did. I think I've always, I've had
Yeah,
a
you didn't get
natural
that one.
knack for it. It didn't matter who was in the way of it. I just wanted to unlock that skill.
Yeah, I agree. What are some other big things that like hobbies that we picked up and immediately quit? Like you. I wouldn't say dated girls, but
I, yeah. I mean, I wonder what the, I wonder what the, I wonder what the pushback is we're gonna get on like, oh, girls are hobbies. But I did, I did at some point. I
girls
did
were
some,
hobbies and you immediately quit.
yeah, guys. I have to say, I did. I used to date and more than date
Yep,
girls.
yep.
And
hmm It was
nope.
a hobby.
Now they're just sitting next to my my sugar cookie
Yeah. Now
materials.
they're just collecting dust on your shelf.
Do you know that's it's like that scene in The Little Mermaid where they're going through the cave and she's like going to sign the contract and all the weird little like worm looking people that didn't make it out like are there. That's
Those are
what
all
my
your girls.
those are all the girls underneath next to the sugar cookie like making kit next to the stamps. There's like a little box of like shriveled up women just waiting to be loved by me again. That visual.
That visual. I also love that we're calling girls hobbies.
Oh, well,
That's so
I
funny.
mean,
I mean,
there's a lobby for every hobby.
there's a hobby lobby. Don't go there.
Don't go there. Did you ever learn to do things like, are there things that you tried to learn to do that you couldn't do, that you bought all the things for? Like, have you ever taken a hand to knitting or something like that?
Funny you ask. Actually, we I remember our friend Tatiana and I. This is back in the day. We went. It was like Thanksgiving, and we were both living in New York, and like we didn't want to go home. We probably couldn't afford to go home, so we ended up going to someone's house in New Jersey, like her coworker, and she taught us how to knit. So we all bought all the things, our yarn, the what are the things you do
The
with what are the
the
sticks called?
needles, the
The needles,
needles,
perfect. The sticks, the knitting sticks,
the
and
batons.
exactly, mine had sparkles on it. Uh, and she taught us how to knit, and we all knitted a scarf. And I was like, this is so fun. I'm relaxed. I'm watching TV. I'm knitting. I understand what the appeal is for 70-year-olds on the subway when they do it. I never did it again.
Thank God. I feel like I just evaded getting a scarf that year for Christmas.
It was a
You're
very
like,
slim, long scarf. It wasn't very thick. The scarf.
uh, oh, so it was a rope.
Yeah, exactly.
It
It
was
was
a
like you
hanging
could have had it
rope.
as, if it was the early 2000s, you could have used it as a belt. Remember the whole rope belt thing?
Oh yeah, that was more like a sash of sorts. Are there any hobbies that come to mind that you can remember that our dads did that you were like, when I grow up, I want to do that? Or were there any hobbies that our dads did that like they complete like you just remember them like just spending so much money on it? And our dads both had one together actually that I can't believe our moms allowed them to do it.
Oh, okay. You tell that one because I think I have another one that I remember, but this one's about your dad, I
Okay, cool. Yeah, I know exactly where you're going with that one, but let's start here because this is when we were actually really, really young when like you need money. And
think. Oh,
this is probably why we didn't have a college fund either. Um,
seriously.
our dads literally both each had their own version of model helicopters. Now, wait.
Mm,
I know what you're
mm,
thinking.
mm.
Oh, it's just a model helicopter. No, no,
Yeah,
no,
sits on
no,
a
no.
shelf.
They were literally the size of like bigger than a wagon. This was like a medium size. This was not your like walking through the mall, getting like, trying to solicit it to spy this little like toy helicopter. No, no, no. It
It
was
was a
a
vehicle.
model, a vehicle that cost literally back, I think this was like in the late, early 90s, 90, 91.
Hundreds of dollars, if not thousands.
A thousand, at least a thousand.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they would take us to go do it because it was supposed to be this like bonding hobby for like the kids
Oh
and
my
stuff.
God.
And
No, it
not
wasn't a
only
bonding hobby. Now that I'm a parent, John, it was our mom saying, take them to the park and do this. We want a break.
Yeah, and it's what they wanted to do. And now it all makes sense because not only would they not let us play with it or have fun with it, they never could fly it themselves. We should have taken a note then that they didn't finish their hobby either. All they did was built the damn thing. They couldn't fly it.
And I think they're both in each of our parents' garages right now.
Most definitely. Yeah.
I remember that. I remember, to your point, it was so big. It was almost like an actual like motor like engine situation in there. They had to go to the gas station to get like a bucket of gas to pour into
Put
it.
gas in it.
They did. They had to put gas in it. And then to your point, they would fly it. We would just sit on the floor in the middle of a pasture looking at them. And mind you, guys, this is Florida, so we're not like in this huge pasture overlooking an amazing view. The highway's next to this pasture.
The highway and a Home
Like
Depot.
facts, 100%. So
What was the
yeah,
one that you were
that
going to
is
come
true.
up with? What was the one
The
that you
one
were
that
going to
my
come up
dad did not like lean into as much as your dad was puppet making.
with? Oh
Do
my.
you remember this? Like it was your John's dad loves Disney like John, which you guys are all very aware of now, and they make like these Muppet puppet situations with like felt faces, big eyes, almost like Fraggle Rock Muppet situation. And John's dad's like, I'm gonna start making Muppets.
And he did.
And he wasn't he trying to sell them?
He really was. And they were great. Like they
They
looked
were
good.
great. But
Yeah.
like, who the fuck wants a Muppet?
I think this is one of those like American dream kind of like stories where you don't realize how like not owning a factory or not having Etsy available to you, how hard it was back in the day to sort of stand something up like that. But I mean, I remember him in terms of selling and making money off of it, but I remember him like being up super late and like
Oh yeah.
he created the patterns for that stuff. He created designs. My mom would make the clothes for these puppets. Like, Brian, it was a full scale operation. I don't know if you ever remember those years that my fingers were bloody. It was because my parents had a little Chinese button camp at home that we'd have to go in and like
Yeah.
hand sew buttons.
John was the original sweatshop.
Uh, I put antiperspirant in sweatshop. Like, come on, that's so me.
I mean, we could probably talk about this for hours. I kind of love the fact that we unpack that we get this from our dads, and it's a pattern that we don't seem to break or want to break. So I think that's actually okay to end it with that.
I think it is okay to end that with that. And it's like really awesome to also just wrap it up on my end with, I walked into this conversation thinking like, wow, I'm really gonna walk away feeling so depleted and all of like something different than how I feel, which is actually
Yeah.
I feel great because we're so creative and curious and we like to dabble and we've gotten to see and do a lot of things and I want our lives to continue to do that and hence welcome enter this podcast.
Yeah.
So,
And topping.
and
With
girls.
that, talk to you later. I love you.
Love you back. Bye.
Bye.